which was a really big. It was a really big deal, you know, back in the early Mortal Kombat X days. It was touring all over the place. And wait. Azerbaijan, I think, is actually playing Shiva.
No, Azerbaijan does play the Mean Queen. Yeah, it is just straight up Mean Queen.
So this is going to be Mean Queen from Azerbaijan, and then Kitana, who has always been a bit of a secret weapon for Tekken Master. It used to be the Highborn. But now, being able to just take whatever he wants, really, for this Kitana pick. Immediate dive kick punished. Here comes Azerbaijan on offense.
Now, I want to say, I'm really happy that we're seeing Tekken Master play the Katana at the moment. Because Tekken Master, I mean, there's a lot to be said. There is a lot to be said about Katana's kind of place in the game. You know, a lot of people think she's underrated. Some people think she needs further buffs. But she's also been buffed in, like, every version of the game, right? Like, there has always been some kind of net benefit for her.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, that actually might be a fatal blow. That's going to be the round. But Tekken Master has always been one of the competitive players in the community that has always thought that Kitana was an incredibly strong character. And to see him with customs, right? You know, we see that the low fan and half blood stance tends to be the one we've seen the most from him. I'm not surprised we're seeing the Katana, and I hope we see more of it. Oh, and there it is again. In fact, I do think we could definitely see more Katana from Tekken Master even tomorrow, because he's a he's a player that has different characters for the matchup. Oh, and there's the mix-up.
Bit of a drop there from Azerbaijan, unfortunately. Could have been a lot more damage, especially seeing as, you know, dropping the combo that costs the bar never really is a good feeling, but as long as Azerbaijan's able to make it work from this range, I think he's definitely going to have the full screen edge as Tekken Master. Then the whole string rock. Oh, the cancel into grab. Always a bit of a cheeky maneuver there for Katana players. Definite shades of Highborn. Uh-oh, hang on a minute. Yes, indeed. Full combo in the corner. The pickup as well. Crushing blow just for good measure and the extra damage. And the meaty Azerbaijan. I mean, that had to be a wake-up up too, right? Surely.
Most likely. But Tekken Master, not afraid of it. Has that meaty timing on deck. And this is a perfect kind of pick for Tekken Master, though, because we're not going to see him play Katana against everyone, but he's always had these kind of like fundamentally solid characters for specific matchups, right? We've seen him use a lot of Katana against Johnny Cage or other characters that kind of really thrive from those kind of like jump distance footsies, because that's what Katana's good at too, and that is a range that Tekken Master he's been used to playing for a very long time. And look at this control. His neutral's so good. His whiff punishes. Give him a good mid, that back one. There's a reason we're seeing him use almost exclusively back one. That is like the button for Tekken Master here.
Now the big comeback needs to be made. We are going to go for that low into the debuff, but with Tekken Master having this much health over, I don't think he cares. And Azerbaijan, you know what? I do very much respect the attempt. You've got 1% of health left. You've got the offense. You have the option to mix it up. Looks like we've just hit restart match instantly, and it will be Shiva versus Katana again. But this is the Shiva that we were familiar with, right? No stance here, besides Death March, which I don't think is quite a stance, although it has a similar function.
But I want to say, I love this pick from Azerbaijan, though, because one thing about Tekken Master is that his defense and his, like, general ability to kind of like keep his calm and does make him quite hard to open up, has always been one of his strongest points as a player. However, Mean Queen, it doesn't matter how good your defense is. If you're blocking, you're taking 50-50s. And Azerbaijan is so, I mean, look at that, the read on the wake up. Azerbaijan is so used to this kind of like real guttural play from the heart, like rawest of the raw overhead low game, and just hard reads. Are you going to wake up? What are you going to do here? That is a playstyle that he did for years in MKX to an amazing amount of success. And there is the read on the throw. Ugh, Azerbaijan. The big stomp. There's a roof on this place. How did she do that? It doesn't matter. Who cares? I don't.
Probably like a really tall roof, and she just didn't, you know, hit her head on the ceiling or something. However, we go in.
Oh, there it is. Yep, there's the mix-up.
The debuff can't move now, otherwise take some damage. Oh, the overhead. Knows you're stuck in place. Hold this sweep or back three. And a grab. Azerbaijan. Hungry. As he's moving in.
Oh, another the stomp.
It's not a counter hit, though. Only crushing blows if it's a counter hit on a blow.
Oh, it's getting mixed. Everything I was just saying about Azerbaijan, his ability to enforce his game plan. Oh, my God.
Oh, the debuff again. Twice.
Stomp. To stomp or not? No. Playing it safe here. I mean, Tekken, he can't move. The debuff, look, he's bleeding all over the place. making a
It
mess.
just ran out. It literally just ran out when he jumped. If he jumped a frame later, he would have died.
Oh
But it
my
doesn't matter.
goodness.
The mean queen. Yeah, we're going back to character select. So you've got one game to work with. You know, you haven't got to worry about a character change from Azerbaijan. Look at him. He's a happy man. He's like, yo, I totally just mixed him.
I mean, he did. I mean, I've said this is the style that Azerbaijan has played for years. And he is good at it. You know, the results speak for themselves. But I have to remind you, this is going to kind of put a bit of a spanner in the works for the seeding moving forward. Because, I mean, if Azerbaijan wins this, all 3 of these qualified players will go in with a 5-1 scoreline. How does that even work in seeding? Like, are they just going to have to play rock, paper, scissors and just hope for the best? Like, how's that going to work? Because they're going to have and that also means things are going to be very unpredictable tomorrow. Because then all 3 of those top seeds are going in with a win on each other in some way. And that's huge. Oh, there's a big jump over. Now, this swap to Cetrion, I've got to say, not surprising. Mean Queen, she is a menace, but she is a menace from point-blank range. However, if you stay at point-blank range non-stop, like Azerbaijan is currently doing, not quite the problem. But there is the Reese to end all Reese Tekken Master to the Raw Tornado. But I feel like the play to just go in immediately, like straight away, you have to do that as Shiva. Mean Queen, this variation, you got an okay projectile, but like you see right there, she can absorb. This variation has to be point blank. And against Cetrion, you can't afford to struggle to get in because you take so much damage. Right, mid, overhead, but no punish. The low, this time we punish though. Tekken Master brings himself onto match point. Hey man, we say it all the time. We'll say it again. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you're going to win games on unsafe overhead lows, you've got to be willing to lose them as well. That is just part of that mix-up. You have to just be willing to accept it, and Azerbaijan, if you're not afraid to. But this is where it's going to struggle, this full screen game. Shiva's projectile is very strong, have no mistake, and the stomp is good, but against this kind of keep away of Cetrion, much easier said than done to close that distance. But Azerbaijan manages to get in the plus frames, respected. The Death March, such a good move. And there's a side switch as well. Tries to grab on Meaty, but Tekken Master with the invincibility, the awareness, but there's the whiff punish. Tekken Master, he's gonna have to hold this damage. Ooh, the boot. Speaking of boots, her face again. Constant mix, never-ending mix. Going into the wake-up three, that could have been so much. But That's it. No, but that's what he read. That's exactly what Azerbaijan read. He just mistimed the jump kick. That could have been a huge damage. Speaking of which, Fatal Blow is there. Oh no! That was
counter hit.
Oh,
never mind. He's still in it, arguably. But this is still.
I thought that was game over. I thought we'd see Tekken Master go for the counter hit crushing blow, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Tekken Master, with the change to Cetrion, is going to be finishing things off here in the group stages, at least the round robin stages, with that first place undefeated streak going. So that does mean that our absolute first seeds from both groups are going to be Foxy Grandpa from Group A, thanks to yesterday, and Tekken Master today.